Today I'm excited to share all my makes for fall. Hello and welcome back to Sew Pomona. I'm Rebecca and I'm so glad you're here. On this channel, I love talking everything fashion and sewing with a focus on capsule wardrobes. Now, the last few months, I have been working on my fall sewing plans and I have sewn up quite a few outfits. Now here in Florida, it's still really warm. Most days are in the 70s with slightly cooler mornings, but I'm all about those fall colors and textures. And I'm also job hunting right now. I have another interview scheduled for next week. So I have been focused on sewing up a lot of pieces that I can wear for work and for interviews. Now today I'm sharing pieces that I've sewn over the last few months. Some of these were started a few months ago, right when I was doing my fall plans, and they are just finished today. So this is a few months of sewing work. When I'm sewing, I love to have a cohesive color palette so that everything mixes and matches really easily. And you're going to see a lot of these are in the same fabrics as matching sets, or they are coordinating colors. It just makes my closet work much better. Now, before we get further, let me tell you what I'm wearing today. So I have been trying new ways of styling this little dress I made last year. This is an Anna Sui Vogue pattern. And it is a little button-up dress with a front placket, and it does have a gathered section here where a belt goes in, but I wanted to wear it a new way, so today I'm wearing it more as a duster, which I really like. I feel like the silhouette is nice, and then I'm wearing a Zoe tank top and a pair of black How to Do Fashion Van Lowe's pants. So really fun autumnal colors, and because this fabric is a sheer, I think this is a Georgette polyester from Mood Fabrics. I'll have all the fabrics linked below in the description. So this is in those great fall colors, but it's really lightweight and not too hot to wear here in Florida. So for my sewing, everything starts with the plans. I did a full video on my fall sewing plans that I'm gonna link up here and below. So I start with my mood boards. I'm gonna share my Pinterest mood board so that you can see it in a few minutes. And I pick out a color palette to make sewing easy. So let me show you what I've sewn up this season. So let's start with look one. I have shared this here on the channel. All the links will be below if you want to go back and see these. And I am going to try on everything so you can see it again. But when I do these makes videos, I love to talk about the pattern, all the fabrics I used, and then show you the interiors and the construction details. My first set, I'm going to put up my inspiration picture. This was inspired by an Ann Taylor look I saw that I just loved. I love this little cardi with the matching tank and the cream jeans. So I wanted to make the complete outfit. So I made a little rib knit tank top. It's got a very narrow band. I'm going to put that up so you can see. So a very narrow band. And this one is self-drafted. And then the little cardi. So this fabric is from Amour Vert. It's a scallop knit deadstock fabric, which I just think is beautiful. And then I use that rib knit for the bands. You can see the buttons I chose. I did a slightly gathered wider sleeve, mainly because I'm planning on rolling this up. I may alter that in the future. I would kind of like this cuff to be slightly longer. So I'm thinking about redoing that, but for now I have plenty of fabric, so that's not an issue. It is really comfortable to wear. And then if you watched my denim video, I showed the process of sewing up this pair of California jeans. So I'm not going to go into as much detail on these because I do have a whole video showing me sewing up the entire thing. If you want to go back and watch that, I'll link it up here and below in the description. But these are so comfy. And I did have to take apart that waistband to modify it afterward because it was a little too loose. And it does have some slight puckers, but when it's worn, you really can't see them at all, so I'm not really concerned about that. I was contemplating going back in and removing the waistband and attaching a new one, maybe a straight waistband, since this does hit at my natural waist. But for now, it's really comfy, and the fit is really good. So I'm not going to really worry about those few gathers. On my next one, future pairs of this jean, I've modified the pattern quite a few times now, so I will get the next pair perfect. Now, I did want to show you the interiors. So this little cardi is fully serged. And then the way I did this band was I installed it. It's got a seam in the center, and I installed it as one piece so you can see the serging finish on the interior. So I completed that, and then the hem, you can see that, so they're attached together. And then I did use my machine to work some buttonholes. I've been wearing this a lot, so they're a little looser, well, mainly because I'm stretching it as I show you. But this is so comfy, and it really matches with everything because it's in that neutral cream color. Now, I am making a yo-yo knit skirt from Style Arc in the same material. I just need a nude swim lining to finish it off. It's a little sheer to not have a lining, and because it's a knit skirt, I thought a nude swim lining would work perfectly and be just enough coverage. So I will soon have many pieces in this fabric. Now, I had so much of this fabric that I did make another top too. This is the Tabor V-neck top from Sew House 7. This was my first trial version. I just made the simplest version. I think it's version C. I will put all the information below if I'm wrong. But I just love how this looks, and just wearing this with a pair of jeans, it's super comfy. It's very lightweight. It's not really sheer, so I feel like it's fine as a top for this sheer level, but as a skirt it would be a little sheer for a skirt. So you can see this is completely serged. I do like how these neck bands, the pattern instructions for this are really, really good. And I'm going to show you that center front V. I think this is probably the best V I've ever gotten on a top. Now, it's a knit, so it's not going to look as perfect holding it up because it's pulling, but when it's worn, that is a perfect V, so I'm very, very happy with it. And I kind of like this dolman sleeve. It's just folded over on the interior. I did use some facing tape from Emma Seabrook for my hem. And for those armholes, just to give it a little more stability. And I did put, I think you can see it right here, there is some interfacing in that V so that it can really hold that shape, since this is a very unstructured knit. All right, so look number 2 is another jeans look. In that same denim video, I also showed my turquoise pair. So I won't go into as much detail about these, but I love these denim jeans. They're so comfortable. They really fit perfectly. They're a really nice, hard-working denim. I haven't been wearing them as much because it is kind of hot here still, but I've been wearing them mostly with this little tee. And this is a little white poppy tee from Clementine's Patterns. That is a French indie pattern company. I really love her patterns. They're really beautiful. So this is the first one I tried. It's a very simple pattern. It has a crew neck, a wide crew neck, and a V-neck. And I have made the crew neck and the V-neck many, many times. You're gonna see more of those in a minute. But this tee is this is a Ralph Lauren Rayon jersey knit in white. And it is really, really pretty. I don't know if that's gonna show up on camera, but it has a beautiful texture. And it's just a little elevated white tee. Very simple shape, but so easy to wear with everything. So with that really bold denim, because it is such a bright turquoise color, I really like having a simple white tee to wear with it. I've been wearing it with very neutral tops, just something soft and relaxed to go against that stiff, rigid denim. Look 3 is a matching set in navy. Now, I am really proud of this jacket. I just finished this the other day. It is a Berta Blazer 127. I've never made a blazer before. I don't usually wear them here in Florida, but I wanted to try a new pattern. And my Berta magazine had this one in it. And I just love this. It's kind of almost like a tuxedo jacket. I really like this lapel. I will try it on so you can see it. And these pockets, let me just hold it over here. These pockets are just beautiful. They go into that princess seam. And I actually sewed a double pocket in here. I don't know if you can see that. So it's got an interior pocket, double pockets in there so that I can put my hands in. But like if I wanted to put an ID or something in the front, I don't have to have my hands holding it while my hands are in the pocket. So this is a fully lined jacket, and I lined it in the silk that I got at Cynthia's Fabrics here in Tamarack. I put a little tag in there to say circa 2024. This silk, I believe it's a Derek Lam silk. It's so pretty. It's also got interior pockets. The hem is all hand stitched in there with catch stitches. I used Claire Schaefer's Couture Sewing Tailoring Techniques to look up what kind of stitch to do for my hem. So I did the blind catch stitch that she shows in this book. I looked at one of my husband's suit jackets to see what kind of stitch they were using, and that really looked like it. So this book was great. It does have a DVD. I'm going to look at that this weekend to try out some more of these techniques, because the rest of this is sewn entirely on the machine. It does have a lot of hand finishing. I had to blind stitch in that facing. And then let me show you it's got a 2-part sleeve, and I put these blue and gold buttons on it. And then I think you can see the lining in there that is hemmed in. I really like the shape of this sleeve. In last week's video, I think I showed how, in my perfectly fitting garments video, I showed how I changed up that sleeve head. If you want to go see that one, to get a really nice smooth sleeve head. And I did have to lengthen this sleeve. So I'm really proud of how this turned out, especially for my first blazer. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's really good. And I will try this on in a minute to show you. Not necessarily that I'm going to wear these two together, but I like having a matching set in case I ever need it. Love these trousers. These are Viscose trousers number 113 from Vert. And I think you can see they have 2 pleats here. I'm trying to get out of the sunlight there. It's very bright outside. Double pleats, a set-in sleeve that's on an angle with the pocket bag. It has 2 darts in the back, very large belt loops, and it's a very wide leg pant with a deep hem. I'm really happy with my zipper on this one. I've been working on getting my zippers a little more perfect. This one was really easy to follow along with the sewing instructions. It's got a nice shield. Let me turn it inside out so you can see it. This one might be a little harder to see because this fabric is such a dark, inky navy. But I think you can see that pocket bag with the zipper. And I like these wide pockets, how they go into the zipper so they stay really flat when you're wearing them. So nice deep pockets. And this fabric is really, really lightweight. So I love these. These look like fall kinds of pants, but they're summer weight fabric. This is a Japanese designer Deadstock. It is a cotton poly twill in navy ink from Stonemountain and Daughter. So I'm really happy how these turned out. I've worn these twice to interviews so far. They're really good, solid pant, and they look really elegant on. Next up are a pale gray set using the same pant pattern. Now, when I made that trouser, I did make it in a cotton, but I wanted to make a slightly lighter one, so I made these in this really beautiful linen. It's a very lightweight linen. I love these pants. This is an Italian Atmosphere medium weight linen woven. This is from Mood Fabrics. I just think these are beautiful. So it's the same pant with those double pleats, the set in pocket. Now I did do something a little different for this pair. Let me see if I can show you this. I wanted to make these little, let me take this off. I wanted to do something different with my belt loops. So for this pair, I'm going to show you how they're sewn on. They're stitched on the top. They're folded in on the inside. And then I just used my button foot to make little buttonholes on the ends. So if I didn't want to wear a belt, I could put them inside, or I can put them on. It also makes putting on a belt easier if the belt is wider or textured or something. Yeah, so really, but I thought that button feature was really pretty. And then I used in the back, I added extra loops, so I had 3 in the back. I just thought it was a nice detail to add, especially because I did have these pretty buttons. So I had the larger size and then the smaller ones to match. Now this is a lighter weight linen. You'll probably actually, I'll show you the front. And then I'll turn them inside out so you can see the interior. And this one will be a little easier to see since it is a lighter color. So here's my fly shield and my zipper. And you can see these pockets. I just serged the edges and then stitched them. And then behind my buttons, I used a little piece of, behind my buttons, I used little pieces of ribbon. I have to trim that one still, to make it a little secure since this fabric is so lightweight. But you can see my darts, and like it's almost 80s, 90s vibe. I really love it. Now for this one too, I did want a 2-piece set, and then as luck would have it, the Delphine jacket from Style Arc was just released, and I thought I would try out the pattern. This was my wearable muslin to see how I liked it. So I did the simplest view. So I didn't put any buttons on it. It does have those darts. One thing I did do is I made it first with the cuff on the sleeve, and I didn't like how it was looking in this fabric. It just looked a little weird. I think if you had that trim that they're showing in their pattern, that would look really nice. So I just redid the sleeve, and I lengthened it using my sleeve sloper to check the fit, so that I could get it a little longer. And I really do like that clean look since this one is so simple and it has no extra details to it. Now I had this lavender silk. This is from Core Fabrics, I think. I've had this in my stash for a really long time, and I didn't have enough fabric to like make a dress or something. A bias cut slip dress was what I was thinking, but it wasn't very wide and I didn't have a lot of it. So I was like, I'm just gonna use it for the lining, and then I can have a really beautiful lining. So I used that stabilizer that I showed a few weeks ago from Palmer Plash. You soak your silk in it, you hang it up, let it air dry, and it makes it really crisp like you're sewing with cotton. It is the best thing ever. I use it on all my silks, and then all you do when you're done is you rinse it out. So you can see this is fully lined. It's got that dart in the back. I thought the instructions for this were really good. It was a little tricky at some parts to figure out what I was supposed to be doing, but I got there, and I love the finish. I do think the finish on this jacket is a little better than the Berta one, and that's mainly because this pattern had better instructions. I find some patterns from Berta have fabulous instructions and they have really detailed diagrams and stuff, but that particular one was a little light on the instructions. But I love how this came together. I did have to piece my sleeve when I lengthened it because I was using up the last bit of that silk since I didn't have that much of it. But I love that purple contrast on the interior. And with the Delphine, I really like those princess seams in the back. I have to trim that, that go to the two-piece armhole. I just think that's really pretty and elegant. And then it does have a center back seam. So I will try on this one as well. I love this little jacket. And I feel like this is more my style. It's very casual, very simple. I'm not really a jacket wearer in general. So I'm trying this out. I don't know how much I'm gonna wear these, so I will report back and tell you if I actually wear these jackets. I was trying to make some more formal wear for interviews because I don't really have a lot of dressy clothes in my closet. I have dresses, and then I have lots and lots of casual comfy wear because I've worked at home for so long. And even when I worked like for Art Gallery Fabrics, that was such a casual dress code that I might as well have been working from home with what I was wearing. So looking for interviews, I needed to step up my clothing and really elevate these pieces so that I had more to wear and look put together. So with that light gray set, I wanted to have a t-shirt to wear with it that would coordinate with that silk lining. So I picked this piece I had in my stash. This is a really basic tee. This one is self-drafted. I did a slightly wider neck and I did a very narrow band. I cover stitched my hems in white. This one, I did not do the interfacing in, I just hemmed it up, really simple. Because I'm looking for work and I've been out of a job for a while, I have been totally sewing just from what's in my stash and what I bought over the summer. So these were all pieces I had because I've been trying not to buy fabric until I'm working again. My hobby is very expensive. So this is my more traditional basic look, but I like this lavender for an interview because I think it's a really nice, soothing color on me. And yeah, when you just want to put the focus on you and wear your best colors, that's what I like to do. So let me show you those two together, and I will try this on. So you can see, I just think that's very calming. And it's not quite the shade, but it's pretty close. This one's a little more periwinkle. It is a Laguna cotton spandex jersey in periwinkle from Stonemountain and Daughter. I forget why I bought this, but I have a bunch of it in my stash. So I was like, if this doesn't work, fine, it doesn't really matter. I had a lot of it. So I'll probably make something else out of it, but for now, I really couldn't figure out what to do with this fabric. So this was perfect. Next up, if you watched my Australia video the other week, you saw this set. This was a really simple sewing project. And after making 2 jackets, that is what I wanted, a really simple, fun, easy to sew piece. So first I started out with the Copelia Cardi from Paper Cut Patterns. I wore this to my ASG meeting last week. It is super comfy. I love that sleeve. I love that raglan sleeve. This is really easy to sew. It's all on the serger. Even, I know there are parts in the pattern where they recommend sewing that part on the sewing machine and then serging the rest of the band, but I just do the whole thing on the serger. So you can see how that band goes in and you kind of turn that part out. It's a really good pattern. I've seen some other people who make them a little tighter fitting. I'm using these as more of a jacket, so mine is, maybe I could probably size down if I was wearing this as a top. I'll put all my size info below in the description because I have no idea what size I sewed of this. The same size for all 3 of my versions. I have made this in a seafoam color and I have made it in a rich brown. So I've been trying to go into those paler, cooler colors for fall. I have a lot of pieces that are kind of in this rich fall-like color, so I was trying to pull everything in my wardrobe together with some of these lighter colors and the pastels. If I was going to sew that, I needed to sew some pieces so that they can all match together. I love having 2 to 3 pieces in the same fabric so that I can mix and match everything in my wardrobe, and it just makes getting dressed really easy. So I made this other Berta skirt. This is 1/16. I've made this a bunch of times. It's my favorite midi skirt. Now, this is all the same fabric. It's an Italian heather top viscose jersey. I love this fabric. It is so comfy. It's got a really nice hand, and I love that heathered kind of look it has to it. I'm trying to see if you can see that really well. For this skirt, because I was making 3 pieces, I was trying to take advantage of fabric placement. So I did 2 panels in the back. So I have a center back seam and then I have 2 side seams, just so that I could get a little more out of the yardage I had and get 3 pieces. So it's a cute little midi skirt. Then let's see, for the hem, I did use some of that hem tape. It makes, this is the Emma Seabrook. I think this is the 1-inch. But you just press that on and then fold your hem up. And then I did this on the cover stitch machine. And it gave it a really nice, perfect hem. I did bend it as I go so that I get a nice curved hem on this wide skirt. And then for the waistband, I have black elastic in there because it's what I had left. And this was fully serged on, so serger and cover stitch machine. So I serge the elastic, I turn it under, and then I cover stitch it on top, which makes for very, very easy sewing, really fast. This one does have a waistband pattern as well, but I just did a fold over one. I just thought it was easier, and I don't know that you really need that waistband unless you want the look. I made my reversible tank top. I have a blog tutorial on doing this. So it's just the same fabric, reversed. It's just the same fabric inside and outside. I didn't even finish the hem yet. It's just serged together. But I'm planning on wearing this tucked in. If I do want to wear it worn out, I will hem it eventually. But I wanted to wear it last week, so I didn't bother. So it's the same on the inside and outside, but I really love having the 3 pieces so that I can wear it all together and it looks like I'm wearing a dress. last but not least, I made a few tees. In one of my, I think in my perfectly fitted garments video, I was wearing this Atelier Scammit top. I had worn this to an interview with my pink linen pants. This is the pulp bodysuit, but it is not a bodysuit. I switched it up. I cut off that bodysuit bottom and I just put a band on it. Now, this was my wearable muslin, and I did have to take in the center front a lot. I probably should have sized down a little bit. It was just a little big on me, but I'm not very busty, so that's probably why. I really love her construction technique. You can see it has elastic in the back neckline to hold that shape. It works fantastically. Now, in the normal pattern, you take these two pieces, you sew them together, and then you top stitch them down. For mine, because I was fitting it, I just serged it together because I had to take out so much, I had to take out a lot of width from center front to get it to drape properly on me. But I really love these pleats at the bottom, and then it has pleats in the back. So it really drapes beautifully on. And I like that you can see this to see the construction. I did not finish this edge, it's just serged, but because it rolls under when you wear it, it doesn't really matter. So it's just serged. And I did tack that down with a hand stitch so that it stays rolled. And then you can see it's got some gathers in the sleeve head and in the sleeve. This was really simple to make. I was going to leave it as a bodysuit, but I hate wearing bodysuits. I find them very uncomfortable, but I love the look of this. So I'm glad I decided to put the band on because it is more comfortable for me that way. But if you love bodysuits, it was drafted well and it fit fine. So the panty that was on it was a really good pattern if you want to try that. Last, I had a bunch of knits I had ordered from Mood, so I made a few tees. I made a bunch of poppy tees. Khaki solid Cupro. This is a khaki solid Cupro jersey from Mood Fabrics. I love this color. I have more of this fabric, so I'm probably going to make another shirt or top. It's got a really nice drape. It's a really elegant knit. I really love it. It's got a slight sheen to it, and I love this color on me. So I made that one, and then I made this one. You can see it's just a shade darker. So this one is an ultra soft rayon jersey in top. This is the Cyrus collection from Mood. So the same kind of thing. This one doesn't have a sheen, it's more of a regular jersey, but it is ultra soft. It feels great on your skin, and I really like this top color. So I made another shirt too. I made a 3/4 sleeve. This is off of my sloper, just a simple, very basic sewn 3/4 sleeve top. And what I love with this is these tees look great with the pale gray. They look great with the navy. They look great with this oatmeal color. It looks great with this oatmeal color. So everything I've sewn this season mixes and matches beautifully. This, if I was not wearing the jacket, I would wear it with this top, which looks beautiful. And then the same, this looks great with these navy pants. Really elegant, and this, I love this top color. It just looks great against my skin. So when you can find those colors that are perfect for you, buy a lot of fabric in it. Like, that's just the best way to go about it. Find the colors that you love and make your skin glow and make you feel good, and that is what you should be buying for your fabric. You're gonna see, I have like no prints in here at all. The most I have is that scalloped knit fabric, but even that is very, very neutral. And I've realized I have a lot of prints in my wardrobe, and I just never want to wear them, especially if they're in tees. Other than a very simple stripe, I just don't want to wear a print as a top or a t-shirt. As a dress, sure, maybe as a skirt, into the neutrals, and I'm loving having all these pieces in these pale tones that really work together. So that's a wrap on my fall sewing projects. Hope you enjoyed seeing the process from planning to the final creation. And if you want to go back and look at that planning video, I'm going to link it here and below in the description if you want to go see my color palettes and these pieces when they were just fabric. So I am looking forward to some holiday sewing projects, sharing my winter sewing plans, as well as how to choose and sew pieces to design your own personal uniform of pieces you want to wear every day. Let me know what you're planning on sewing this season, and if you have any holiday themed looks, I'd love to know before I plan out that video. I hope you enjoyed seeing all these makes, and until next time, happy sewing.